Hey, Roger here from Roger's Hot Rod Garage, and this is another Corvette episode. So this is my 66 Corvette, original 327, 350 horsepower, except I think it's been slightly camped up a little bit, high duration cam, and obviously a very high compression motor. This thing actually rocks and rules. So one of the things I got to knock out right here is to get this thing a little bit quieter than it is right now. Now I know I'm running open headers. Those are my stainless steel block hugger headers in here, and the goal today is, after all the stuff I read on the internet, is I'm going to put these are from JEX resonators AR312S-5. that's the part number, and I think these are like $27 each. So 1, 2, 3 of them. If you look inside of here, they've got this little weird baffle. Let me put the sun in here and see if you can see that. And that's why I got the arrows drawn on here. I'm actually going to weld 3 of these back to back. They're the rest of the stuff I'm going to use. I ordered from summitracing.com. But check this out. This is what the original one looks like. So they just got these little pinches in here, and I just know that's going to be super loud. And look, folks, I just turned 60. I'm not 18, 20, 25 years old anymore, so I don't want to sit inside this thing and it's making just a boatload of noise. Now, if you notice this fancy Billy Bob Joe job right here, this wasn't me. This wasn't the previous owner in Germany who he bought it from a guy in Tennessee/Kentucky. There's a little Rock Auto Parts / Advanced Auto Parts, wherever thing you buy your stuff from. So again, I'm not going to use this right here. This was just a mock-up, but they go right down here, and instead of having this pipe right down here is where I'm going to put 1, 2, 3 resonators down here. Now I've got the rest of my parts also assembled right here. I'm also going to run these right here. Those are those flex pipes to stop it from jumping back and forth. Check this out. I'm going to TIG weld that nice and curvy around there, then come up underneath the rail right here. This is the actual frame, you can see it right there, and I'm going to come out here. So again, this is just mocked up right now. And then on the end right here, where these chrome pieces come out right here, I'm actually going to come around here, and I've got these, I think these are 3-inch. I'm going to cut these at an angle right here and have them beautifully polished sticking out. So anyway, stay tuned. That's the plan for today. And all that noise you hear are the geese out here. Oh, just picked that up too right here. 59 Heinkel, 175 cc's. You guys get out of here. Scoot, scoot. Hey, look, one last time, I'm gonna crank this thing up while it's still loud with open headers on here. I know you can't actually tell through your headphones or watching on this YouTube channel, but this girl is loud. Right there, girl. All right, hey, look, that's about it. Let me get busy on a little bit of fabrication here at Roger's Hot Rod Garage. All right, I had to go check the internet upstairs because, again, I ain't no doggone Corvette expert, but you see these little tabs right here? I know now what they're for by watching a couple of YouTube videos. So look, right here, I'm gonna put my camera down here, and I just got this mocked up. So let me fly on the back here. This right here is that little bolt right here. This is actually the original piece I'm gonna have to reuse. And then right here, go to the gym here. No, look, let me grab the camera here real quick and show you this. See these tabs right here, or these little holders? They were for a non-side pipe car, from what I understand. Of course, somebody in YouTube land is going to tell me, Roger, you're wrong. But I think that's what they were for. Because if you didn't have the exhaust hanging down here, you'd have to have, or the exhaust cover, which is this thing right here. See it? You'd have to have the trim that went down about here. It's about a piece about this big right here. And that's what you would have to have on here. So I'm gonna slice these off right here. Now don't be haters here, because this car is a side exhaust car the way I bought it, so it's gonna be a side exhaust car too. Now, what I'm also gonna look for right down here, that looks like it's factory. I just watched a guy upstairs on YouTube actually cut his own in here, but that is where this bolt right here, carriage bolt, slides in, and that's how you actually take the back of the exhaust and hang it to the car. So I'm not cutting anything I don't have to cut. It's already here. This is already in here. Maybe this car was just pieced together. I don't know, because these right here, I literally don't need them. So I'm gonna cut them off right now. This is metal right here anyway. So anyway, let me go get my little hacksaw here, which is a motorized hacksaw, and cut those suckers off of there. Yep, that's all of them. So again, put all your hate comments in the comment section, but I'm just worried about getting the side exhaust on here, and then we'll go from there. All right, folks, right here, this is again Summit Racing 3-inch stainless steel mandolin bend. Make sure, yep, 3 inches. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to replicate. That's a fancy word I just thought of. I'm going to take this piece right here and just make it out of stainless steel so I can polish it up and everything. This is just a piece of chrome right here. I guess I could probably reuse this, but this looks like just a shy under 3 inches, like 275. It's not 2.5, but I'm going to cut this right here on my metal cutting bandsaw, but I've got to start a little piece right up in here, then cut that off, and again, this will be that piece right there on the end right here. And again, I've got these laid out directionally flowing this way, and I'll put some tacks on these right here. Again, I'll tack everything up right here, mock it up, and then bolt it on here. I've got to reuse this piece right here. You just saw me take that off over here. There's that piece. It was already on the car, but it looks like it's new. So this might have been actually a rear exhaust car at one point in its life, because of those things I just cut off. But again, it's going to be a side exhaust car right now. I guess, you know what, I could tell if it was a rear exhaust car if the valence had holes in them right here, but the valence is tucked someplace inside the car. But matter of fact, there's the valence right there. So no, I don't have the exhaust out the back right here. So let me get busy over here before the sun goes completely down. I got to get something accomplished today. Bob's your uncle. Hey, you want to make your life easy before you weld these pieces together right here, get rid of that zinc coating that's on here. Just welds a lot easier that way. See that right there? All right, here in Roger's Hot Rod Garage, we use a combination of woodworking tools, like right here and right here. And I don't know where I learned this little trick from, but if you want to get two pieces of round pipe exactly straight, get yourself some woodworking tools or clamps and some angle iron. This is just heavy duty angle iron right down here. That dude is a getting it. And that's an attention deficit disorder my wife always warns me about. So look, arrows this direction, arrow this direction, and you get yourself those pieces of angle irons, clamp them down, and then this right here is where I took off that that zinc coating on here. I'm just going to put a couple of buzz welds in here. Again, I'm not going to completely weld it through right now in case I completely screw this up. And I'll get the other piece on here that I can start mocking up from the back of the Corvette right here to the front. There's the piece that I hacked off right down here, but let me show you what the polished piece turned out like. Is that not a smooth operator? A little bit of gas on here. Let's cut this sucker to 400. I got it on 5. Put a nice little buzz up in here. And again, these are just going to be simple little tack welds up in here. Right there. Cover up. Where is the clamp? We'll put my ground right here. There we go. That sounded beautiful, Roger. All right. Look at that. Let me flip this thing over and get the other side real quick. Oh yeah. Perfect. Oh. Let me get you guys a first-hand look at Roger's inability to weld here. But look, a monkey can MIG weld, so don't give me any credit right here. And again, I'm not looking at this buzz, obviously. Now the roll test to make sure my floor is actually straight. Yeah, I'm gonna call that. That's straight in Roger's Hot Rod Garage. All right, hey look, this is a figure it out and scratch your head type of technology here. So this right here is 90 degrees, and that's the old one. This is a new one I just put together in one piece, mocked it up. Now I'm going to take this piece I cut right here, but this right here, I got to take this off right here, and I got to probably weld it about right here at a slight angle. But before I weld this piece on up here, see this piece right here? That's actually a thick piece of metal right here, but I'm not going to use this one. I got this, again, stainless steel from Summit Racing, and if you look right here, this is basically that shape right there, and I'm going to put that shape right up in here, and it'll come out at about the same area right up here, and there's that straight edge right here that I'm stimulating with my hand movement. So you got to start back here, because that notch that goes on with right here and that carriage bolt actually has to be in line, and then from there I'm going to work my way up. I'm going to cut this piece right here and then magically add this to it somehow. It's going to be welded on there, obviously. And then I've got to point it directly at the bottom of the collector, and then I'm going to take this piece right here and cut it, and that's going to be my sharp turn going out to the side exhaust right here. So anyway, that's the plan. Now, I could have just bought this prefab and everything, but the problem we have over here in Europe in the military across the Atlantic Ocean is the Army Post Office box only ships 70 inches, and obviously that's a lot more than 70 inches. So a lot of stuff we do over here, if you're in a car hobby business, you kind of got to fabricate your own stuff, which is perfectly fine. I don't mind doing that. I actually enjoy a little bit of fabrication from time to time, but this right here will be custom. It should be quiet. And then the diameter right here is 3 inches, and those 3 inches will 100% fit in this original side pipe right here. This is actually like a heat shield, I guess is what you would call that. And the goal is to put that pipe right down the side right here. And I'm probably going to paint it with that Cerakote stuff I got left over right here when I was doing the actual headers. And while I'm on the attention deficit order of Cerakote, that's what those things turned out. That's the burnt bronze, I believe they call it. And man, that looks killer. And then of course, while I was painting the bug in my previous videos, go to my YouTube channel and see those, I forgot to paint the license plate rear deck on my 57 Oval, so I went ahead and sprayed that. And one of my grandkids brought me this little car right here. It's actually out of metal, so I went ahead and sprayed that same diamond green paint code L412 for the bug. But anyway, back to the Corvette right here. Look, folks, the sun is coming down right now, so I'll probably see you sometime tomorrow in this video, which will be Friday, right at the beginning of March 2025. So take care, see you tomorrow morning. All right, hey, look, I just got my my counseling statement from the wife. I got to be upstairs like in 20 minutes for dinner. But look, let me go ahead and cap off this evening right here. This actually turned out, let me get on my back here. I don't have a lift here, but check this out. So look, that turned out perfect. So if you look right down here, you see that little piece right there? That's what I just sawed off. I'm now going to take that and just put a little buzz weld on here real quick, and then weld the crap out of it upstairs. But look what really turned out nice here is this little piece right here. Let me get this light turned around right here so I don't blind anybody. But see that right there? That is the tip of that resonator. I'm going to shorten that by about 1 inch. Now check this out, this nice little piece of stainless steel right here. That's going to be right at here, and I can orientate that. I think you got to point it a little bit down here, so it's going to come out right here, and it's going to be in this perfect little angle right here. So that is a good news story as we close out a Thursday evening here in Germany. But look, one more thing, the sun is coming down here, and you'll see another video. It's called the Retro Classic in Stuttgart. I'll probably post that one before this one, so never mind what I say right now because it makes no difference as far as time chronological time order is concerned. But check this out. Let me get the dumpster out of the way. This is also an indicator when my wife puts that out here. The implied task here is to take my garbage from over there, put it right in here, and then push it to the corner street. But look, since I got this 1959, Heinkel is the name of the company. And look, just a little bit of history here. I'm not a history buff, but at the end of World War II, the Germans were not allowed to build aircraft anymore. And Heinkel used to build bombers during World War II for the Germans, of course. So something we wrote into the peace accords or the amnesty or whatever you want to call it, the end of the war, is no more airplanes. So the company Heinkel started building these mopeds right here. Now this is technically not a moped, it's more like a motorcycle. It's 175 cc's, 9 horsepower, 4-speed. It's got the flash to pass on here. Check out the coolness of this. Again, I just picked this up at the Retro Classic. The nice thing about this thing, I've got all the paperwork with it from the original owner. Check this out. He was in Italy a couple times, and just a couple old stickers like that. This thing is super cool. I know this is about the Corvette, but that's what it is right here, a Heinkel. And look at that. That's when it was down in Italy at a place called Laguna. That is also in the Fahrtenbuch is what the Germans call it. So every time he drives the thing, and check this out, look at the workmanship here. There's the air filter. This is where he cushions it. Let me go ahead and cut the gas off. Would be right here. That's where, right here is where you actually adjust the idle. And since you guys are looking, there's the little, it's a 4-tact, so it's a 4-stroke motor. There's my VIN number right up in here, only 6 digits. And underneath here are the batteries. I did put 2 6-volt batteries in it. They're wired in series. So what that means, this sucker right here is 12 volts. Now I'm gonna push this in right here, and this light cuts on. And if you push it in more, hold on just a second. Look at that. That thing runs like a sewing machine. Lights. Turn signals. Anyway, and you pull the key back out of here to get the cut off. So what is this thing good for as far as top speed? The guy lied to me. He says 95 kilometers an hour, which is right at 60 miles an hour. I went 110 kilometers an hour the other day, which is like about 65, 67 miles an hour. Again, this is not just some little moped 2-stroke. It's a 4-stroke, got a little bit of guts behind it, and it's a 4-speed. So anyway, let me get back in here and get upstairs and get cleaned up a little bit for dinner before I get yelled at once again. All right, hey folks, day 2 right here. So I got the gators outside right now, and this is what my my morning work has been right here. So I've got all these things kind of lined up right now. That right there is at a perfect angle, and this is how this thing is actually going to sit. I'm going to try to flip this camera around, and that's how that holding mechanism works right down there. Got the other side already done too. Come on over here, and now I got to cut this piece right here, which is just around, I think it's 2.5 inch, to meet up with that piece that I've got laying right down here that's going to come from the exhaust collector on the headers. Okay, so that's the plan right now. So let me turn this thing around. I've been doing this with the bandsaw. But you know, I just have to get it basically eyed right here. I'm gonna even marking it up. If I look straight up and down right here, I can cut this thing at a pretty good angle. Safety first. Little tack right there. I think that's good. All right, so I got this one honked down up in here fairly tight. Get the right angle on that thing. There we go. And now that's in there solid. Now I'll tell you what, the next piece that goes up in here, and remember me telling you I got this piece of towel taped up right here? That gives me that little, what is that, 3/8 of an inch, 1/4 inch right between here. And now I can slide that sucker up on here, either this direction or this direction, because I got this one hacked off a little bit. It don't make a difference, but you know what? I'm actually going to push it this direction and call that stability, and then I can put a simple little weld right around this corner right here. But look, the only thing I got left right now for this passenger side is to take this piece right here that I cut earlier, and look at that. Let me turn the camera upside down here. That is almost a perfect angle right in here, and that'll stop the vibration from coming from that collector right over there, the exhaust manifold, all the way out the back right here. And I think I'm basically done. So look, it is a Friday evening, so I'm heading to a place called Egelsbach. The weather's beautiful. I'm gonna go get the 30 Ford Coupe and drive. It's about a half an hour here, and we're gonna go meet a couple of friends, kind of like a drive-in car show. That's basically it for about 2.5, maybe 3 hours of therapy here in Roger's Hot Rod Garage. So I'll get back with you tomorrow, Saturday, and finish this project up. All right, folks, gonna go ahead to Heinkel's, to McDonald's. The sun is coming down over here, but it's still beautiful weather. Got the window open right now, so let me get on down the Autobahn right here. All right, folks, hey, we got Saturday afternoon, about 24 hours later. Let me cut on my little Lorsch welder right here and move over to the driver's side of this project. Now, don't think it takes me 3 days to fabricate an exhaust system, but I ain't down here, you know, 8 hours a day or 10 hours a day, so I probably got about 2 or 3 hours to play with this today again. And this is kind of stuff that just takes time, and don't try to rush a situation like this. That's just my little piece of humble advice here. So let me turn this wheel so I got a little bit more crawl space. And look, this is the piece. It takes a little bit of fabrication. I did have to put my little extension right up in here. That ain't too bad of a booger weld right there, but I got it nice and clean and neat with no spray. You'll see the top of this right down here when you're looking down from the top, so that's why this is kind of important. This right here, again, is that vibration isolator, whatever you want to call it. And what I'm going to do here, this is going to go to the collector on the headers, the stainless steel headers. And here's a little trick I always use. I showed you this on the other side, but take this right here, and about right there is just tape that on here. And what that does, it gives you like 3/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch of play right in here, padded. So when you go underneath here, hold on, I'll show you this live. See, I'm gonna try to get the camera situated someplace up in here so I can show you this little fabrication piece. Right about there is where I think I'm gonna be good at. Let me point it right down there. So if you can see that, I've got my MIG welder pistol right here. Let me back it up just a little bit more so I'm in my own way. And now I'm going to move it slightly over here, and I'm going to take this now and lay it right up in here like that. And there's my piece of tape over here. I don't know if you can see that. My piece of tape right here. That's my orientation, basically where I need to go pointing that thing. And then of course, right here is that collector from the stainless steel exhaust from Summit Racing. I think it's Patriot brand, I'm not quite sure and everything, but it's not the normal one. And then right here is where this piece of folded up shop towel is going to go push up right against there. I've got my angle right now. I just got to push this right here. I'm perfectly lined up right here. And then with the third arm that I don't have currently working for me, I don't have a third arm, but I sure wish I had another set of hands right now, is I'm going to come in here and put a little bitty weld right there after checking one more time. And there it is right there. So I think I'm good to go. I'm actually going to have to weld this with my wrong hand here. Hold on just a second, folks. Close your eyes, buzz, right about there. Whoops, that didn't work out too good. I think, wait a minute. Yep. So there's a nice solid buzz weld. Of course you didn't see that because my camera got kicked around, but I got a little weld on here now. Should be able to let this go, and it's holding. That's a good news story. So now I'm going to sneak around the back side of this, put a little tack weld right here and one on the third side. That way I can unbolt this. I've got play up in here. Right here I got play. And again, this ain't the professional way of doing things, but this is Roger's Hot Rod Garage, and we just do what works. The shimmy. And let me get one more spot weld on this front side right here without burning myself. There we go. All right. Perfecto. So let me loosen that up over there and go ahead and proceed to weld that thing solid. All right, so I went ahead and beaded this all the way around. This is actually not bad weld right here. I'll clean it up a little bit, but look on the inside right here. So you see a little lip right there? Right there it is. I'm going to go ahead and take my Dremel tool right here, the big giant one from Harbor Freight, and just clean it up a little bit and get that little ridge right there, because that'll restrict a little bit of flow in here. So that's basically it, and I'll be done with the passenger side. Sorry, Bob. I'm calling that done. All right, so passenger side. All right, driver side over here. I just temporarily mounted these in here with my little wood screws, just holding them on temporarily and get my orientation correct. There's my stainless steel piece that I put on the back right there. Got it orientated correctly. If you look underneath here, that's where those resonators are hiding up underneath here, and you don't see them from the side. I read that on the internet, or saw that on the internet. And then right now the only thing I got left is to go from here, my little isolationer, to this right here, which is my first resonator, and then just checking this corner right here. I think I'm going to be okay, and if I might say so myself, that actually turned out pretty spiffy right there. So look, this is just a tedious task right here of cutting one little section at a time. And like my dad always said, I've cut it 3 times and it's still too short. I don't want to be in that situation because I can't wait on Summit Racing to come back and give me my parts again, 2 weeks. So I'm gonna take another almost an inch, 3/4 of an inch off here, just wiggling my way up to the exact right angle. I'll call that good for government work. Bob's your uncle. Right up in here. Look at that. So I got a couple extra work steps in here. Now where is that other piece of metal? There it is right here. And if you look real close, right there's my mark for 6 inches. So this right here is going to go right here because this is the exact same diameter. So I can use these band clamps on here right now. I know that's not the way these things are put together, but that way I've got a couple of options when I'm welding this thing, and also if I don't like the sound or it's too quiet, I go back to L original pipes right here. Anyway, so look, that's the plan. Now, hold this up against here, measure 6 inches right there. That's 6 inches. So that's gotta go about right there. I gotta take off that little bitty lip right here. And again, I'm gonna eye this. Just make sure that's perpendicular so that band clamp can butt up against the other band clamp. That's the plan right there. Get this exactly the same diameter. Here we go. Now I'll flip this thing around because I felt it move already, but there it is right there. Still in here. And if you hear that consistency, that's what you want. There we go. Now, I'm not going to try to weld all the way through because I'll probably get a hole in this thing, so I'm just going to do what I do. I do these little pieces of welding here, and it's just as good as actually going all the way through. Again, I ain't no professional welder, but it works for me for the last 25 years. I think I have solved my problem. So I did find a piece in the back that's exactly the circumference or diameter of this piece right here. So let's get to welding. All right, round 2. This is the passenger side. And again, I'm eyeing this, folks, to make sure it's perpendicular. Move that one right there. Man, I'm calling that good right there. All right, folks, let me go ahead and button up this video here from Roger's Hot Rod Garage. Been a really successful Saturday here, middle of March 2025. And I got about a solid, not 1, not 2, but 3 quality hours working on this exhaust today. And again, for me, it's like therapy. It's not, oh, I gotta work on the Corvette. If you don't wanna work on the Corvette or any kind of hot rod projects, then just leave it alone. But this is a passion of mine. Obviously, I've got my YouTube channel kicking up right now, but look, resonator 1, 2, 3, And if I say so myself, this turned out pretty doggone good right here. Even got myself a stainless steel band clamp in here so I can separate all this from the rest of the stuff that I fabricated today. And if I say so myself, that actually turned out pretty doggone clean. Got my little isolator up in here. Now I've got this booger welded right now. This is just tacks, and I'll take these off tomorrow because I can't separate them, and I'll do a nice little weld. Might even do a little bit of TIG welding on that tomorrow. But look, this thing is set up right now. I went ahead and test fitted those side covers right here for the exhaust, and they're looking pretty good. Actually not looking pretty good, nothing rubs, and everything's down pretty pat. Look, I'm gonna clean up this mess right here. Let me go ahead and cut this thing off. And this side turned out just as good as the other one. So that perfectly follows the contours of this little thing right here. What do you call that? The exhaust heat shield or whatever for the side exhaust for this Corvette. Now what I don't know is whether this was an original rear exhaust car or side pipes, but I've got it set up and I got the kit and it had side pipes on it when I got it. There are these things right here, and I imagine those would be kind of loud right now. So again, this is what I got with the car, just as a parts kind of donation thing. Now, this is Billy Bob Joe right here. Now, this is not bad if you actually weld this thing up, but I decided not to use any of this old stuff right here. I used all brand new stuff, including stainless steel. These isolators right here is a set I ordered from Summer Racing that I did not use. They're not expensive, like $20 a pop, so they'll go in my little arsenal of stuff I have in the back. But look, long story short, sun is going down. The wife went shopping right now, so my goal is to go ahead and get upstairs, get the table set for dinner and everything before somebody has to tell me. A little bit of advice for those guys who ain't been married a whole bunch of years. I've got 35 plus years underneath my belt as far as marriage is concerned. Go ahead and do those, and I've got this meter that automatically tells me when it's time to go upstairs before somebody has to tell me to go upstairs. So look, I always like to clean up my mess. I'm gonna go ahead and crank this thing up for you right now. I'm gonna extend this little pole right here, and I'm just curious myself on what this thing sounds like. Now, this is a cold crank. This is not faking it or anything. Let me close this up, sit up in here, tap the gas a couple of times, and we're gonna find out how loud or quiet this car is. Like, subscribe, and share from Roger's Hot Rod Garage. Hope you enjoy the videos. Take care. Bye-bye.